everybody, hey folks, welcome, my name is Kurt, aka the Vitruvian Gamer, and finally I'm back with a new playthrough, a new solo playthrough of the board game of the X-Files, probably my favorite television series of all time. Now, this board game is normally a game for 2 to 5 players, and well, there is this easy adaptable solo variant out there, which I'm going to play now, which means I don't need a second player. Woohoo! Awesome! So, I decided to play with 2 characters, because also if you play a multiplayer game, they advise you to play with at least 2 characters in this game, otherwise it will not be a great experience, because this is a game a little bit about teamwork as well. Well, it's the X-Files, and we have, of course, chosen to play with Dana and with Fox. Dana Scully and Fox Mulder, the 2 main characters of the show. So they will be handling all these cases in the world, or in the America, because the game board, as you will see, is a map of America. And there it is. There is the map. So as you can see, there are a couple of regions on this board. We have the Northeast, the West, the Midwest, and the South. And the South, well, they can have 2 files going on, 2 X-Files going on. And, well, that's the first thing that we have to do. So I didn't set up everything yet. So I put the tokens on the board. I've chosen the characters. Now, also, each character is going to draw 5 cards from the agent deck. These are the cards that we are going to use to investigate stuff and all those things. So I'm going to draw 5 cards for Scully, because ladies first, of course. And I'm going to draw 5 for Mulder as well. Now, I'm going to show you those cards as soon as we start the game, so I can check them as well to see what we have. Oops, it's the other way around. There we go. So these are Scully's, and these are Mulder's to start with. There we go. Okay, but we also, of course, need cases. And, well, you always have, at the start of the game, cases. A number of cases equal to the number of agents in the game. So we are going to play with 2 of them, which means we are going to draw 2 files, 2 open files, of course. And first, we will have in the Midwest, Irresistible. And let me read the flavor text. Some people collect salt and pepper shakers. The fetishist collects dead things. Hair, fingernails, no one quite knows why. Though I've never quite understood salt and pepper shakers myself. And, well, all these quotes are, well, one of the big reasons why I love the series so much. They are so cool written things. So, what do these X-Files say? Well, they say how hard it is to investigate, and in this case it is 6. We need to put 6 progress tokens on this X-File to solve it. And this one says that paranormal investigations add 1 less progress to this X-Files than usual. And with this symbol, this is a paranormal symbol. We'll see about that later. And if we manage to put enough progress tokens, we get to draw 2 clue tokens, or something else, because sometimes it can be something else than a clue token that we find. So we put this on the board, and there we go. We need a second one. That means we draw a new one, and this one is in the South. It's from the episode Quagmire. Alright, so if an aquatic dinosaur's diet consisted primarily of frogs, then if those frogs suddenly became scarce, it would have to search for an alternative food source. Yeah, that's something that's true. So again, it needs 6, and it adds 1 difficulty for each solved X-File in this region. So if you solve an X-File, you get the tokens that you need to, well, win the game, but you also close the X-Files, and having closed X-Files in this region makes it harder, but, well, it's the first one there, so that will not be the biggest problem this time. Okay, so what is the goal of this game? Well, we need to get these clue tokens, and I've put them in this Yoda cup. Normally you have a bag for it, but I would prefer doing the cup here. And, well, these are the tokens we need. and you have 1 and 2s in there. And if we have, we can always, at the end of a player's turn, we can trade in 2 of these tokens, also the number of agents in the game, to get 1 piece of the I want to believe poster puzzle. And if we manage to get all 9 pieces before the bad player, the Syndicate, gets 25 of these tokens for him, 25 or more, then we manage to win. And you will see how he gets those tokens later. And that leaves us with one more thing to do, and that is to put our agents on the board. Now, at the beginning of the game, you always start in the northeast area here, which means we don't have an X-file over there, so we will have to move around to get there. Also, one more thing, and that's also different with the solo variant. Normally, in a Syndicate's player turn, he has the option to get Syndicate cards here and places all these empty spots there on the top and bottom of the board. Now, in the solo variant, there will always be Syndicate cards at X-files until we try to solve them or till we start to investigate them. So, which means we put those cards face down on each connection with these pins here with the wire. And that means we put 2 there in the south with Quagmire, and also 2 at the Midwest with the other X-file. Okay, and that's, well, then we are ready to begin. Yes, we are. And the turn is very simple, because on your turn you do 3 things. First, you move or you consult another agent. Now, moving means you move to one adjacent region, which means you can almost get everywhere, except for from the northwest to the west. You have to pass through one region, but the other regions are all adjacent to each other. Consult another agent means you and another agent in the same region, yeah, well, you're going to trade 1 card. So you give 1 card to that one agent and the other agent gives you 1 back. So that's mandatory. You also have to give 1 back as well. After that, you get to plan or to act. Planning means you just get 3 influence tokens, and influence tokens, and I forgot about that because each player already starts with some influence tokens. I will correct that soon, but it means you get 3 influence tokens. That means those are the tokens you need to buy, well, to play cards with. And these tokens look like this here, and you need them to play cards from your hand on the board to investigate or whatever. Or you can act, and act is actually other thing, that's playing a card, probably to investigate or do something else. And then the last thing you do is draw a new agent card from the draw pile. And if you get enough clue tokens, or then, well, you can spend them to gain pieces of the puzzle. As you can also see, each character has a strongness and a weakness. Now, they are all strong in this one with UFO, which is a general skill. But, well, as you can see, there are also other symbols, and each agent is strong and weak in one. Now, of course, Mulder here, he is strong in the paranormal, but he is weak in the science department, while his colleague Dana, she is strong in the science, but weak in the fire, well, the conflict stuff. So, also, they each have their own special ability. Fox is a believer, and at the start of his turn, he can pay 1 of his influence tokens to look at a face-down Syndicate card of his choice. So anywhere on the board, and then he can share the knowledge with other agents. Well, there are 2 agents, but there's only 1 player, so I will definitely know what he saw. While Dana is a skeptic, and that means when Scully draws 1 or more evidence tokens from the cup here, well, she draws 1 extra, and she puts 1 back in the bag or in the cup after looking at them, so she has more chance of finding good stuff. And it looks like it is getting dark in here. I think it's going to storm outside, so I'm going to check if it's a good thing to turn on the lights. Okay, so, but I will explain everything afterwards I'll do it. And so let's start with Mulder, because he, with the believer skill, he can pay 1 of his one of his tokens here, his influence tokens, and he can look at one of these Syndicate cards. So let's take the closest one here in the south. They are both equally hard, although maybe, let's see, one less. So no, he's going to check. He's going to check the card here, and we have the Wild Goose Chase with the famous pack of cigarettes from the cigarette smoking man, the brand Morley. When I was 12, my sister was taken from me, taken from our home by a force that I came to believe was extraterrestrial. Yeah, if you watch the X-Files, you know what it's all about. When revealed, add 2 cigarette tokens to the evidence bag. So if we go to that location and go investigate that X-File, there will be more tokens into the evidence bag. So I leave it open. It's not revealed yet. We just looked at it, but it's not revealed. But it's easy for us now to remember that it is over there. So, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. So I think, oh man, this is a tough choice already. Let me think. Yeah, what is he going to do? Is he going over there or is he going to try his luck? Maybe we should take some risk to start with. Probably the wrong choice, but, well, why the hell not? So, he's not going to consult, so it means he's not going to exchange cards, although he can give a lot of powerful stuff to Dana. Maybe we will do it anyway. So, he's going to stay over there and he's going to consult. And he's going to give one of his cards. Let's see. Consult. Yeah, he's going to give this lab analysis to Dana, which is a medical card. That means Dana can play this more easy, because if playing a card with your strong skill, then you pay 0. If you play a card in which you don't have the skill, then you pay 1 token. But if you play a card that is your weakness, which in this case Mulder's weakness is science, well, you have to pay 2 tokens, which can be a little bit too expensive. Now, that means Dana has to give 1 back to Mulder, and since she is weak in conflict, she will give this firefight card to Mulder. There we go. All right, then now he has to choose to gain influence or to act, and I think he is going to... He's going to... Yeah, he's just going to plan, I think, because he cannot do anything over there. Or he has to pay all his tokens, which is a little bit tough. He could pay these 2 tokens to play an ally, the lone gunman right over here, but, well, that's very expensive. So, he's going to plan, which means he just takes 3 more influence tokens from the supply. There we go. And now we go over to Dana, and Dana, of course, she is looking pretty good here with nice cards in her hand. So she is not going to consult, and she is going to move to the Midwest, I believe. Or is she? Yeah. I think she's going to the Midwest. Now, it's a chance, it's a risk I'm taking, because I don't know what cards are over there. So let's go up a little bit with the camera. Now, let's zoom in. If we want to investigate, we need to have 6 to solve these X-Files. I don't think I can manage to do that. But I think she is still going to investigate. So that's her second action. She's going to act, and that means she's going to play a card, and she's using the autopsy card. And it says the cranium is opened with a horizontal division an inch above the eyebrow ridges, just so you know. And well, she gets investigate 2 plus 1 for every other science card in her hand. Now she has 2 other science cards in her hand now. That means she investigates for a total of 4. And investigating means we add these tokens here with the files on them on top of it. So that's what we would do. But yes, there's a but, of course. We have these Syndicate cards, which still can mess up these plans. So let's take the first one, and the first one we have is the Man in Black. So normally the Syndicate player needs to pay 3 for it in order to activate this. In this case, in the solo variant, nope. You take your orders like those below you, Mr. Skinner. Okay, when revealed, any ongoing political investigation is cancelled. So if we had played or used political cards with the symbol of the pen here, then we would have, well, not gained the 4 tokens that we just tried to place. But anyway, it wasn't that. So now we need another one. There we go. And the next one is arson. There goes my computer. Damn it. The X-rays in the pictures. Alright. When revealed, any ongoing paranormal investigation is cancelled. So it does the same as the other one, but for paranormal investigating with the alien symbol here, which means everything goes as planned, and we can put 4 tokens on irresistible or irresistible the X-file there, which is pretty awesome. So I've also forgot one thing now, because that's the third thing in a turn, and that is to draw one more card for Mulder. So he draws another card, and there we go. He drew a Legwork card, and now also Scully draws one card, and it's a paranormal one, which is not her forte, but well, we'll see. So there we go, a new card for Scully. And that ends the turn of the agents already. And now it's the Syndicate player's turn. And what happens with the Syndicate player's turn? Well, normally there are a bunch of steps you have to take, but in this case it's less. So first of all, he draws 1 evidence token from the evidence bag for each X-file still unsolved on the map. Well, as you know, there is only, well, there are 2 and we didn't solve any, so we take the cup here. And we are going to draw 2 tokens, which he keeps for himself. So there we go, 2 tokens, and let's see, let's focus. There we go, 2 ones. So he found 2 pieces of evidence himself. He took them before we could. And if he ever gets to 25, we lose. So I put this somewhere on the board. All right, then he will go and add 1 cigarette token, which are these little fellows here. Zoom, focus, there we go, these tokens here, we add them to the cup. Right, there we go. So later, if we draw one of those tokens, it gives us nothing, which is sad. And then normally we would replenish the X-files. If there was 1 or more solved, we put back X-files on the board until we have as many as the number of players, which is of course not necessary because we didn't solve it. All the other things, if we watch lower, they don't apply in this variant here, so we go back to the board. But without that much reason, because I'm going to end this first part here. We played 1 round, I explained the setup a little bit, some things of the rules, and well, we are going to continue playing, of course, next time, yes, we are going to try to solve that irresistible case. Maybe we can get to the other one as well. We have that stupid Morley card here, which adds cigarette tokens to the cup. But we'll see what we are going to do with it. I'm not going to ask you for advice, because I'm going to film part 2 immediately after this part. So you can still comment in the comments section below anyway, if you want. No problem at all. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe. I don't know where the button is, somewhere around this screen. So push that button if you feel like it. And find me on boardgamelinks.com. Push the button with sides and find Vitruvian Gamer and give me a little heart next to my name. That's much appreciated. Okay, folks, thank you for watching, and I see you all in the future with the X-Files.